Hello. Continuing with the theme of the American illusion, pre and post Trump. Pre Trump, we saw the need of a sovereignty based system, a lot pre Trump. Following, I would say, the dissolution of the United Nations to a certain degree, or its importance in international relations, now we have a NATO focused alliance, which is a champion of multilateralism, but multilateralism with a democratic a bias. Uh, Now, we have a system post Colin Powell, who resigned as State Secretary of Defense when the US went in for regime change in Gulf War II. Isn't it interesting how it's called Gulf War II? It's like Gulf War One wasn't enough. Anyways, that's just my personal bias here. Now, we have international anarchy to a certain degree. Uh, is that the way we'd like it? Maybe. Maybe in a perfect world, we need anarchy, but it makes things a lot scarier. So that just reinforces the need of a really strong America. America can help us stay safe. I'm Canadian. We live north of America, and their security is our security. It is very, very a symbiotic relationship, and we have to realize that. A country with that amount of firepower and influence in the world culturally would take over Canada in no time whatsoever if it was needed. Canada's role in the new scheme of things in international anarchy can be very, very large or small. Uh, if you want a large Canadian influence, keep Canada as a middle ground where people can come create new lives and aspire to have something more than they do in troubled spots. To fix all the troubled spots in the world and make a true global utopia may seem far fetched, but it is attainable. Canada can play a role in being a good role model and allow for its reputation as a peaceful nation, which is strongly linked to the United States. However, we can benefit all with our ideals and our values. Uh, I was raised as a Serbian in Canada, and it was wonderful. Everyone knows who we are and what we do and how we are, and we had that freedom. So I'm very grateful. Canada is a wonderful place, but it cannot lose sight of what its role is in the international sphere. We have had many, many, many letdowns, Security Council seat, and all these other things internationally, and sometimes our, say, downfalls can hurt. However, uh, we have to realize our role and understand where we're going from here. Canada's a wonderful place. Uh, 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 Everyone who comes here knows that they are special. Okay, so going forward from here, uh, we must understand that what happens in America not just affects the United States, it affects Canada, it affects the whole world. And the beauty of their system is that they are allowed to do what they do, to get their voice across. Sometimes it can become violent, but the American Revolution was violent and it is in their history. I'm not saying that's good, I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just saying it's a historical reality. Uh, when you look at the American influence in the world, we know that their values are, even like it or not, are being purported throughout the whole world. So freedom comes at a cost. Is everybody ready for freedom? I say no. No, but not everyone's ready for freedom. But if they can come here and live it, then that is beneficial. But if they can't, violence is never the answer. And make the best of what you got. So create a family if you choose to, create a business, make the world a better place. Think local, act global. That's all I can say about that. But for my time in China, I've seen that they're very, very capitalistic and they're very, very communist at the same time. So they took the best of both worlds and made a hybrid system, which is just wonderful. Okay, and it is for the Chinese because they created it, they made it, and they help us all. They make us cheap cars, cheap TVs, or Asia cheap cars, but they have wonderful cars in China if we were allowed to get more into their electric market. Cheap TVs, cheap anything we need for our homes. Just the problem is we need to have good paying jobs here again to afford all those things. Don't ask me what the answer is. I'm not an economist. I'm sure many people in economy can tell you, but our safety and defense budgets are ginormous. I'm not saying to bring them down. I'm just saying maybe a different approach. Physical fighting is not that large anymore, and we can do without the physical fighting component and get into other things. Okay, so if we built on community building, uh, stuff like that, maybe the world would have the illusion of being a better place. But in reality, I don't think it's an illusion. I think it's just using a common sense approach to how we live and how we can make a better place for everyone. Okay, uh, that is about all I have for today. Uh, we can talk more later. Please feel free to drop me an email on befreethinkers.wordpress.com and we can start this dialogue peacefully and without violence, please, and unnecessary comments because what's happening now is actually a very pivotal point in world history, and maybe we will treat each other with respect, and I think that's all that's needed. Thank you.